Hey everybody! We are back. Had a great run last time. A 30-minute lost win. Let's follow that up with a 55-minute Maggie win, hopefully. Doing well. Happy to be here. I'm paying... let's phrase this in the most positive way possible. I started chasing losses in Slay the Spire yesterday, so my backlog for Slay the Spire is larger than Isaac. Just chill here for a sec. So today I'm paying the piper bet, playing a little bit more Isaac, and I'm having a great time. Don't get me wrong. Maybe saving up banter for 2 days is the way to go. Even though I didn't talk about anything at all related to anything that's happened to me in my life, because it's essentially just still going to the grocery store. There's a lot of walking, which is nice. A lot of going to the grocery store. I've started consuming too much melon. And you're gonna just chill, okay? This is honest. Hear me out. I've started, and I'm embarrassed to admit it, I've started eating like a pint of watermelon a day. I don't know how to express its volume in a metric fashion, because I go to the grocery store. They have watermelon in what I would describe as a container that is about the size of an imperial pint. About a 500 milliliter container, and I take it home and I say, this will last me a couple of maybe. I take it home and I say, this will last me a couple of days, and then I just eat it. And look, we're in like the lens has turned, and fruit is bad now. I don't know if this is actually like the way it's gonna stay. I'm not scared. But now, like, if someone was like, oh, hey, I had some, like, Doritos yesterday, people would be like, oh, man, what flavor? Doritos, love Doritos. It's my favorite food. Do you have Cool Ranch? Do you know outside of America, they actually call Cool Ranch Cool American? That's not true in Canada, but I guess, like, in other parts of the world. We call it Buddy Ranch up here. That doesn't even make any sense. It's called maple cool syrup, cool maple ranch, maple American. Look, one of those jokes has got to land. Pick your poison. Hold on, I'm just focusing. So yeah, if you tell someone, oh, I had too many Lay's potato chips last night, the first thing they do is call you a scab, and then they go, hey man, I hear you, they're delicious. Now if you eat fruit, people are like, don't you know it's got high sugar, is bad for you. We should be drinking G Fuel instead. I don't know what happened. I don't know when the Overton window shifted to like not being allowed to admit that you eat fruit because well, allowed is maybe like not the right word, but to always having to go through a lecture of like, you know how much sugar it is. Look, I'm not saying that eating a pint of watermelon a day is necessarily like a health food. All I'm saying is it do be tasty, and also, I was gonna say it grows in the ground, but I don't think it's really like a justifiable health advice. Okay, don't hit me. I will be leaving now. And then this is the ultimate play right here. I'm not upset, man. I'm not upset. Now, what did we get out of that? Like a lot of spirit hearts, okay? And then I'm gonna be the change I want to see in the world. I love having a high rate of fire, so I will take almond milk. Yeah, it's a little spicy. So what? Hunger Games? No thanks. I'm still full. I got no complaints about this. So yeah, that's my anecdote. I've been eating like a pint of watermelon a day, and honestly feeling good about it. Honestly, you don't want to compete with me in the casual like power walking competition right now. I will I'm gonna shellac you. How much walking you do in a day right now? I've been training nonstop. My mileage is out of control, and the vast majority of my mileage has been while also pushing a stroller. Sometimes a stroller with groceries in the bottom, like 6 pints of watermelon, that get heavier and heavier on every trip. Honestly, I would put myself up there with one of the best. I think if you measured my walking wattage, I would be up there with the best right now. Tina Margarine, look, she's like a legend, she's an inspiration, but what? Oh, we got hit, so umbilical cord popped, I see. Bob the Booster? Yeah, okay, look, there's a lot of, everyone knows the name of the legends. We don't need to, you know, just pretend, oh, that's horrible. We don't need to go down the list of names that I'm making up. Bobson, Dugnut, etc., etc. I'm just saying, if we're talking about classics, does my name get brought up? I remember, and this is true, I couldn't afford a 4-track or even a Ford Escort or even a 4-track recorder, so it's only right that I let the top drop on the drop-top Porsche, convince myself that's important. You know what this guy knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, I immediately regret taking almond milk, mostly for the tears down, but that's not almond milk's fault, so I guess I gotta chill, man. You know, everyone's talking about how, like, Repentance is probably the last piece of Isaac, you know, DLC, and I think it is for the Rebirth platform. But when the mobile version gets released, Isaac Exodus, where it's a gacha game where you do 5-star pulls to try to get yourself like a platinum level Tainted Greed, then like things are gonna change and you'll be ashamed of your words and your deeds. It's a pay to earn game in the NFT landscape. You can mint your runs as profile pictures and then sell them on OpenSea.io. It's a whole thing. Oh, you don't support that stuff? Okay, well, enjoy being a wage slave forever. Sorry, I've been spending a lot of time on the internet over the course of my life. Anyway, it's satire. Regardless, what was I talking about? Have you considered the fact that they have to release more Isaac DLC to account for the rise of oat milk? You know, we got soy milk in here, we got almond milk, we got spoiled milk, but they haven't done anything related to the rise of Oatly. Where the heck is my Oatly reference? The game, it looks so dated now, not because of the graphics, but because they got soy milk, almond milk, but no oat milk? Come on, man. I got oats. Ed, could you milk me? Meet the parents? No, thanks. I'm still full. Anyway, I still believe in almond milk, okay? But here's what I'm thinking about almond milk. Obviously I want, like, damage, so deals with the devil seem great, but I feel like there's more, cool tier effects in deals with the angel. Obviously there's stuff like Eye of the Occult or, you know, Death's Touch, which on a deal with the devil would be pretty amazing. We gotta try to make up for our earlier inequities here, unfortunately. But, and I repeat that, but, I think we might want to try to force the deal. I mean, I'm basically just in my head right now looking at the idea of getting, Holy Light. If we can get Holy Light, like, this run is off to the freaking races. It's going to the moon. That's a big fish, though, and you know, it's a relatively large lake. I'll take the damage. This has given me the strength, I think, to say no to the deal with the devil. Now, this is an evolution of my gameplay style. I would say we're entering my brown period. Why would you phrase it like that? Because it sounds funny. I don't think we're gonna roll Guppy's head, and even that is a bit of an evolution for me. We're gonna pick it up, of course, but you know, our damage is not our strong suit. Our DPS can be good, but it's almost entirely controlled by our tiers. You know, it's... There you go. I don't know, I got lost in an economics joke there. I was like, you know, our DPS is good, but it's almost entirely controlled by our tiers, just like the return of Apple stock is largely motivated by price discovery rather than their pitiful dividend. Okay, see, aren't you disappointed that you were like, why are you not saying your joke now? I think you're not disappointed though, because you wanted an opportunity to -2 me, and that's fine. I'll take my -2 with pride. But I think, no, let's stick with petrified poop. I think I was previously of the opinion. Oh, hold on here one moment. I was just waving to the delivery person. I think that previously I was of the opinion if your HP is insanely good, and ours really is early on here, then you want to take deals with the devil because A, they have good damage items, B, some of the time, B, you have more of them because you get one earlier. So, like, all other things being equal, because you have to wait at least one extra floor to get a deal with the angel, you're much more you're more likely on average to get more deals with the devil per run than deals with the angel. I think that's, I don't think there's a case in which that's mathematically false. You can get duality, of course, on from your angel deals. You could also get goat head from your devil deals. So, you know, barring something funky with something there, I think that you're going to get, I would say on average, like 0.5 to 1 extra deals if you go deals with the devil. So it seems like if you got the HP, why not? But I think that there are just some combinations of runs where the relative, you know, item pools of each are more advantageous than the other, regardless of your HP. I think, yes, I think there's low HP runs where it makes a lot of sense to go deals with the devil, you know? Especially if you're fishing for something like Abaddon, 9 lives, the ability to fly. I mean, you can get those from your devil deal, I suppose, but... Or via your angel deal, I should say. But anyway, long story short, who cares? Isaac, talk more about Apple's dividend. I mean, come on, man. It's like, what, you know, 0.92% or something like that? I mean, I get it. Don't get me wrong. Like, you need to hold more of your shareholder money so you can continue that lawsuit against Epic. Epic lawsuit! A golden epic lawsuit! Anyway, I think that actually resolved today. As did the gaming drought, kind of. I had I wouldn't call it a pitiful stream yesterday. I think people had fun, myself included. But I really, sure. I gave it my all. I put in a lot of research to try to find some games to play that had come out recently. And almost all of them ended up being a big whiff. Which was devastating for me, because I'm a believer in the gaming industry, right? Who would have thought that Animalia Survival, the game where you play as a rhino in the African savannah, would come out to 24% positive reviews on Steam. But today we got a little bit of, there's a reprieve, okay? There's a bit of a reprieve today. Warioware comes out. And Lost in Random, which is like a dice-rolling narrative adventure puzzle game, comes out. Very excited to check out both of them. It really does, it feels like it's been a long time. I apologize for constantly bringing up the gaming drought. I don't bring it up as an excuse for like playing the same stuff over and over. Like, sometimes people try to use the fact that I talk about a gaming drought as if like, well, you just gotta dig deeper. And I'm like, okay, let's play the tape forward. What if I played Resident Evil 8 all the way through? What would be next on the list? And then they go, okay, good point. I see you. I see your playtime. I see you on Discord. It has been in League of Legends for the last 7 years. You know, I'm playing a lot of new stuff. I'm just saying noteworthy new stuff is at a local minimum right now and has been for some time. But maybe we're starting to pull ourselves out of it just a little bit. I mean, Warioware is, I love Warioware. It's actually, I wouldn't, well, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. Certainly this is an easy choice, but oh, hello. Well, would you look at that? We were talking about Warioware. It just arrived. I had no idea that you got it. Hey, honestly, Literally, just now, my wife walked in with a copy of Warioware. Remember when I waved to the delivery person? That's what they were dropping off. It's also hilarious, because I was just about to buy it on, like, the eShop. Because I had no idea that we had pre-ordered it. So, literally, this just saved us, you know, like 80 bucks. Well, me. 80 bucks, really. Anyway. WarioWare is probably like one of the Nintendo franchises I'm most likely to play when announced. I own the original Mega Micro games on my Game Boy Advance. That was not smart. And I loved it. You do have to acknowledge, like, that, and this is it's not a knock, really, it's just, like, the reality of the WarioWare situation. It's not the kind of game you play for 50 hours. It's the kind of game you play for, like, 15 minutes a day for, you know, a month, and then you go, that was fun. Now, apparently, though, people told me that this WarioWare has online multiplayer. A competitive online multiplayer. I'm really coming to terms with the fact that, and I've probably been beating this drum for like 10 years at this point, I don't think I'm a bad gamer. I think that the genres that are most popular for competitive gaming are genres in which I'm not very good at. You know, racing games notwithstanding, I'm okay at racing games, and I can hold my own in the Forza Eliminator, for example. And I'm excited for the new Forza this November to, you know, to prove that. But like first-person shooters, fighting games, stuff like that, not necessarily my strong suit. If instead of first-person shooters there were like 90 Scrabble clones that came out every console generation, you would probably be talking about me in the same breath as Shroud and Michael Jordan and etc. etc. Unfortunately, we don't live in a world that's just, and as a result, I am just, you know, the most popular games on the planet pretty much reward the same skill set over and over, which is fine. People want to watch them. It's the marketplace of ideas, man. What can you say? But anyway, if there is online multiplayer in WarioWare, you might be seeing the dawn of an electronic sports legend. Like Marty Fish, I'm ready to hit my peak at 32 years of age. The time has come. I hate to say it, but I love playing Nintendo Switch games online because the level of competition versus PC gaming is like, come on. Like, PC gaming is like Neo going up against Agent Smith. Like, how do you kill that which has no life, right? Thank you for the HP, by the way. And yeah, I'm not disappointed to see Sworn Protector. Console gaming is like when Neo goes up against those other agents who you don't even know the name of. You know, you're just kind of like mindlessly like, oh, ho-hum, I parry your blow, I punch you in the solar plexus and cause you to disassociate from the individual that you had taken possession of, and now I'm picking up a phone and I'm going into the Matrix again. So we probably like should not do this, but here I go doing it. We're not gonna die. That's 4. We can play up to 7. I wouldn't even mind the 30 cents, honestly. Never would have fished for a secret room there. You got a spirit heart for me? You're a piece. You know what? You know that? You're a piece. And fill in the blanks. We're not gonna die. We're not gonna die. Leave this place. Leave this place. I'm willing to pick up 1 spirit heart just to... Well, no, because it... You should pick it up now. Guarantee your survival. That's fine. And now we're at full HP. What did we get out of that? Again, nothing. Nothing, really. You're hoping, when you do that, that you get a payout of an angel item at some point. But so be it. You know, it doesn't always come to pass. Dank Depths 1. HP's looking fine. We're still looking for that incredible tier effect, but we'll get there. Sworn Protector, it drops an Eternal Heart when it blocks enough shots, right? Like that's the meat and potatoes of that. Anyway, that's my opinion on the gaming drought. We're working our way out of it. I mean, it's been a great opportunity to go back to Slay the Spire, which is also, perhaps ironically, a great opportunity for me to go back to what I was talking about at the start of this the episode here, but did not finish my train of thought. I'm happy we're playing Isaac, don't get me wrong, and Repentance is a joy. But there's a little part of me that's like, I'm itching for Slay the Spire, but it's irresponsible to play more of it today just because the backlogs are so disjointed. But I beat Ascension 19 last night on the Nintendo Switch. And I'm happy. You might think that it's like too much to be playing it through on Switch and PC at the same time. But I actually think that it's so nice when I'm going through like a hard patch on the PC to play on the Switch, try out some new ideas maybe. And also, even though the Switch is now like 2 wins ahead of the PC, it just feels like getting the win on the Switch is like, it just lets me know that it's also possible to get it on the PC. It's like a confidence, it's practice, it's scrimmage. If we talking about practice, does my name get brought up? Okay, we're rapidly approaching, oh, it's full health. Let's go. We're rapidly approaching this run being super annoying territory. So, how do we get out of that? You could... I can't fly, by the way. I don't know what I was thinking there. Don't get yourself killed. That's amazing. That's just incredible. Alright, that's a great start. Yeah, I don't even know. It was good enough that I don't know what I was saying earlier. I got my brain got completely scrambled. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. This would still... like, I'm telling you, man. 1 tear effect. We're off to the races. Like, imagine what booger tears looks like here. Probably looks like a bunch of boogers. Would be my guess. Like, a lot of them. But, yeah. I mean, I've been fishing, man. I've been going on deep dive expeditions in the Steam store trying to find stuff. I think it's what happens when you have like a... I don't mean like I'm the only person like this, but, you know, I have a unique taste in games. Like, I'm the kind of idiot that's like, oh, good games? Yeah, those are alright, but like... You know what would be awesome is actually like a game that's like kind of bad, but in a good way. It might surprise you. There's a certain amount of good games. I would say it's a little lower than usual right now, not to mean any disrespect to any games individually, but I think we're in a little bit of a drought, a drier spell, one might say. And then there's a lot of bad games. If you exclusively just wanted to play bad games, Steam would allow you to get 20 a day. And again, believe it or not, I actually mean that with no disrespect. I'm not talking about games that have like a 50-person team and then, you know, they just didn't quite come together the way they were supposed to due to, you know, CEO meddling. I'm talking about stuff that's literally like, this is my first ever game and, you know, I'm releasing it on Steam because I can, and it's a Unity asset flip where all you do is like jump up and down and, you know, dodge like flying versions of Donald Trump's head or something like that. Those come out literally every day. And I want to stress, literally, you can find that game. Without any difficulty, I think. But that stuff is not that fun, because you just, when you play it, you're like, like, obviously it's not good, but also, like, why am I even playing it? Like, I deliberately sought out something that just has no viewability whatsoever. The rare stuff, like Schlagden das Two-Spiel, that's the game I'm looking for, man. A game show. They are making a new... It's not Schlagdenstar, but they're making a German video game based on the television program The Chase. But again, it's entirely in German. I just want to send them an email and be like, please localize this with English Even if it's German trivia, it would be so worth it for me. For me, do 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 do. He says to me. We can walk this. Okay, you know what? That's hubris. Good run so far. We don't need much more, but certainly I would always be happy to get another deal with the angel. At this point, oh, the room doesn't do what I thought it would do. At this point, I wouldn't sweat a deal with the devil either. Like, the deal with the angel has had a good chance. It hasn't given us garbage, but, like, you know, we're definitely still... We'd probably consider ourselves a little bit underpowered. I mean, it's an easy choice, unfortunately. Tiny Toma at least does something. I don't mind Stitches if we don't have a spacebar item, but, like... Yumheart is pretty critical to the theme of Maggie. Well, I'll tell you, this is not what you want to see on this floor. We want more opportunities to get items, not less. Alas, here we are. I should point out, there's also been some good games that we've played this week. As much as I've talked smack about the Vampire the Masquerade Battle Royale, and I really, like, it's just such a bizarre game that they took, like, a beloved tabletop RPG that had been turned into a cult classic, you know, Fallout-style RPG. Oh my god, did he call it Fallout style? Don't you know that Vampire the Masquerade was actually the original... It was the progenitor to the three-dimensional Fallout games? I can't believe you would make a ridiculous... Okay, I'm sorry, Mathis, I'm sorry, okay? Is that the Eternal D6? I would be mighty tempted to go through with this. But then to turn that into, like... I mean, to turn it into a battle royale just seems kind of cynical, and I say that as a person who plays every BR that comes out because he's dumb, I guess, but also they're kind of funny. Okay, we're gonna go for this then. Goodbye, Yumheart. You did your best. Out of that, we got Scapular. It's not so bad. But it's just weird, right? I think it's a game that's easy to be cynical about, but overall, like, it's a fine diversion, and for free, it's okay. No umbrellas allowed, that kind of, like, Papers, Please, Pawn Stars game we ran for an hour and a half or so. That was really good. I had a good time playing it. It's a little lore-heavy for my personal taste, but I think that if you're the kind of person who loves that stuff, then more power to you. I'm really just kind of, I'm a psycho, and, like... What I want is actually just a game where you run a pawn shop. Not a game where, like, you run a pawn shop, but it's like a thin veneer of, like, a critique of capitalism or, you know, whatever. And I'm not, like, you know, what my political beliefs notwithstanding. It's more just that I'm like, yeah, no, I can read Das Kapital. I'll read Das Kapital, but for now, just let me pretend to be Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars, okay? And then there are games where you, like, you know, kind of run a pawn shop, but they seem to be largely, like, not very good. Who would have thought that all the, well, I shouldn't say all, but most of the talented artists in the game-making community, you know, whether they be designers, genuine visual artists, or programmers, they want to make art that has a message, and then, like, all the stuff that they just want to make commodities, they're just pushing it out the door as fast as possible. It cheeses me off, man. Anyway, still good though. So there's still gems to be found. Don't get me wrong, but that what a fight we had there. A Thame, uh-oh, stinky. Blood Puppy, kind of uh-oh, stinky as well, but we'll let it ride. 26 minutes. So we're taking the negative. That's nice to remember. Soul of Cain. This is very nice. Use the Soul of Cain to find yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. I bet it would open boss rush for us. It could be here. Yeah. Oh, okay, it's not that good. It's not that good, but I'm happy that you know what it was? We went through the growing pains of me not accepting anybody else's opinion on how to use the cracked key. Then after going through the pain of being cyberbullied for that, now you go slow. Look at that. Thank you to the infographic that let me complete that room. After being cyberbullied for not taking the opportunity to learn how the cracked key actually should work in order to have the best chance possible to find the super secret rooms, I felt compelled to learn how to use it. You know, what can I say? The court of public opinion can be a very powerful motivator. And hey, it was a victimless crime as long as you ignore the resentment and trauma that had built up within me for a little while, and will probably exist until the day I die. But hey, we learned how to use the secret, we learned how to use the Soul of Cain, so there is that. Okay, we didn't earn a deal. I'll own that. We didn't earn that deal. Angelic Prism, though, fun item, and you know what? I regret saying it's not that good, because I actually think it's a pretty slick get for us right here. Plus, it makes the run look very cool. Very cool indeed. A Demon Heart. A full health pill. We should save the full health pill. Because if we get an Eddy room, we'll want to be able to leverage our red hearts to make the best possible use of it. I think I'm coming to terms with the fact that this run is never likely to, like, just blow up. Like, this is gonna have, this is never gonna become like Wolf Mother, okay? This run is destined to always be like Ted Leo and the Pharmacist. But that's okay because, you know, Wolf Mother, they got a couple of songs. Briefly, they were the biggest rock band on planet Earth. Woman was a big radio hit, and then, of course, The Joker and the Thief propelled to the stratosphere. Oh, right, yeah. Via its inclusion in The Hangover. But Ted Leo and the Pharmacists, I mean, I would say for a certain demographic out there, myself included, have a more enduring, you know, sort of, do you believe in something beautiful than standing a man? You know, so, like, you gotta embrace that, you know, I'm okay just having, like, a medium Coke this time that's gonna win the run, probably. You don't always have to get the super size just because it's 10 cents for 3 cents worth of extra soda. Did you know Ted Leo from Ted Leo and the Pharmacist is married to Amy Mann? Who's Amy Mann? Well, you may know her most famously for One is the Loneliest Number that she... Yes, not the Harry Nilsson original, but the one from the Magnolia soundtrack. However, here's another one. Did you know that Amy Mann, before she was a solo artist, also was part of a band from the 80s? It's a bit of a one-hit wonder, but what a hit it was. Till Tuesday, with, of course, their song Voices Carry. Hush, hush, keep it down now. Voices carry. That's... I feel compelled to let you know. That is a bop. If you were interested in knowing my opinion on Till Tuesday's 1986 hit, Voices Carry, I give it the bop seal of approval. And you know why that is? It's because Amy Mann's involved, I think. Okay, so I can't really tell what's happening on the screen anymore, but this is my design. I'm also excited for today's stream because I'm gonna eat Takis. I don't know how it's pronounced. You know, the hot chips Takis. I've never had them before in my life. Just purchasing them made me feel old because when I mentioned that I bought them, someone on Twitter, who may be watching this episode right now, said the real Takis experience was eating them in gym class when you're supposed to be running a mile, and I was like, dude, I gotta tell you, like, it's back in my day, I guess. I'm not saying I grew up in a derelict potato chip or tortilla chip era, but, like, we didn't have all these cool, spicy tortilla chips when I was a kid, right? Like, And you know what my classmates were eating for potato chips when we were in high school? Yellow bag Lay's. That's the original. Occasionally, you wanted to mix it up a little bit. You know, you thought you were special. You thought you were something that don't impress me much, etc., etc. Then you might go maroon bag. Well, I'm not mad. Just would have thought at some point we might get, you know, one of the angel items after playing 3 Eddie rooms to completion, but alas, it happens. You might go barbecue bag occasionally, but I wanted to get it. There was no way we were beating them there, though. But there was a lot of Lay's regular. We didn't have cool potato chips. We had some cool sodas. Pepsi Blue, which was a neat gimmick because it was like, hey, it's Pepsi, but frickin' disgusting. But no, I mean, I don't even know when. I mean, the Takis website said they were brought to Canada in like 2018, so I'm assuming they've existed elsewhere. I don't know if they're originally American or Mexican or European or what, but they might have existed elsewhere before then. But at least within Canada, they're relatively recent. So I haven't been in gym class in the Takis generation yet. Also, their website is so aggressive. Like, it's really hard to not take this. On the other hand, you know what else is hard? Not re-rolling it into mom's knife. Alright, well, it's more fun this way. Excuse me, thank you. The website, like, I got a little scared. I gotta admit, I got a little scared when I went to the website, and it said, like, the website is called something like don'teattakis.ca. And then it was like, have you ever wanted the experience of literally eating a volcano? Then Takis is for you. And I'm like, bro, you know, at first, it's like those ads that are like, you know, The Exorcist is so scary, a woman died in the movie theater. And then you're like, no, come on. I mean, I'm not saying it's never happened. All I'm saying is, like, if you got a knowledge of stats, I'm sure people have died in the movie theater in just about every large movie that's ever come out. It's just this a law of large numbers thing, right? If 10 million Americans go see Avatar, I'm sure, like, at least 1 or 2 died while watching the movie in the movie theater. 10 million is a huge number. They don't do ads for that, though. Avatar, the movie so bad, it gave 3 people a heart attack. It's only scary movies that do it, okay? I've never seen Avatar, I just know that it's gonna farm up +2s. Mona Lisa Smile, the movie so boring, 6 people worldwide died rather than finish it. You know, they're dying of things unrelated to the fear factor of the movie. Or the boredom. I don't know. Mona Lisa Smile is pretty boring. I can't vouch for that one. But Avatar, who knows? But that's kind of what the website... It triggers, like, an animal response instinctively, right? Where you're like, oh my god, maybe I've made a mistake purchasing this. Then you realize, like, you know, there's, like, a plant in Markham, Ontario that's, like, just... like, mindlessly churning out these Takis so that they... can be consumed by the predominant demographic of, like, 9th graders. How spicy could they be? Come on. Like, don't make me laugh. It reminds me of, like, the Doritos roulette, where it was like 1 in 6 Doritos is the spiciest thing you'll ever experience in your entire life. And then I bought them, excited for a little bit of spice, and it was just like, when you got the one that was spicy, you're like, was that it? Or was that just nacho cheese? I can't tell if that's zest or capsaicin. But then there was the amazing... Hey, look, it's a kid, okay? But that doesn't mean we can't laugh at the story. It was like the most stereotypical British food news you could ever have in your entire life. It was like 13-year-old British girl hospitalized after eating spicy Dorito. You're like, come on, they're not... you recognize they're trying to sell, like, you know, 135 million bags of those every year. They're not trying to put you in the hospital. I remember they were suing the company. What is wrong with me? They were suing the company because they're like, they shouldn't be able to sell this kind of poison. Well, you might be right, but I don't think it's because of the spice level. If it had been any other country on Earth, then it would have been, you know, just a nothing news story, I think. But the fact that it was England, I mean, or the UK, I should say. Like, I'm not insulting British food, okay? I'm sure that it sucks that you get constantly, like, talked about how your food is bad because, you know, your ancestors ate eels out of a can, and, you know, by your ancestors, I mean you, like 2 weeks ago, and, you know, how, like, you named your sauce brown sauce. Like, you couldn't come up with something. I mean, I guess it's descriptive, but at the same time, you're just kind of like, really? Brown sauce? Hold on. I'm going for it, man. I don't mind a Blood of the Marty here. Nice little damage bonus. And why did I take a multi-dimensional baby? Well, it's really just because I think with Prism, it could be fun. But no, in all honesty, like, I think that I'm sure British food is better than the stereotype. Plus, people always, like, leave out British Indian cuisine, which from what I've heard is possibly, you know, amongst the best cuisine worldwide. Now, every once in a while, does something go super viral on Twitter? Because somebody will make, like, a British news personality will make a tweet that's like, made fish and chips my specialty for my missus, and it's just like a big plate full of brown stuff? Yeah, okay. Or like with the shredded cheddar cheese on top of like a sirloin steak or something like that. Yeah, but every country's got stuff that you can make fun of like that. Canada, I mean, people, this is genuine. I apologize to my countrymen. In Canada, I'm not going to say, like, because I've done it. I'm not going to say there are people who do this, but, like, it happens that people pour maple syrup on snow and eat it. It's not like you go over to somebody's house and they're like, time for dinner, and then, you know, you pour out your own pocket bottle of maple syrup and just pour it on the yard and eat it, but, like, it has happened, like, to me, even. So if you take the extremes of cuisine, I mean, it's just madness, top to bottom. That being said, I mean, come on. You don't think, like, the doctor at the hospital wasn't like, hey, I get that there's the Hippocratic Oath and all that, but, like, they weren't like, hey, can you just, like, not be in the hospital because of a Dorito? It's gonna do irreparable damage to our national image. Hush, hush. Keep it down now. Rito spicy. Uh-oh. This has ended up being a very fun run. What the only thing that's not fun is being, like, completely unable to dodge because the screen is just absolutely covered. But that's also what is fun about it, is the screen being absolutely covered. So you take the good with the bad. Well, there you go. We're not quite done yet, but almond milk angelic prism multi-dimensional baby certainly creates a... I knew that was coming. Certainly creates a very interesting dynamic. This is what the Beatles saw after they... You know what I'm saying, man? You know what this is what the Beatles saw when they were recording, I Am the Walrus, dude. I am the almond. Okay, look at that. We're in. Fun run. I had a good time. I hope you did as well. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, like button, and I'll see you next time. See ya.